Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I don't Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
Now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum and Abner received their report on the analysis of the spring water at Grandpappy Spears' farm and were happily surprised to learn that the spring actually contains some health-promoting properties. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their jot-em-down store and library. Lum is talking on the telephone. Listen.
670, 680, 690, 700... 700 even, there it is. $700 right to the penny. It looks like quite a bit of money when you get it all stacked up there.
Well, it is a lot of money. Every cent we had in that double-jointed saving account of ours.
Yeah, but it's going to do us a whole lot more good now than the way it was sitting around in the bank there at the county seat.
Yes,
Yeah, get me a big envelope to put the money in, Abner, and I'll carry it over to Mr. Webster.
Well, now, Lum, are you sure we're doing the right thing now?
The right thing?
Yeah.
Well, of course we are. This is the best thing we could do with our money. Make a invest in that health resort, Idie.
Well, that's practical all the money we got in the whole world, oh, don't forget that, Lum.
Yeah, but it won't be when things get booming around Pine Ridge. We more likely make so much money we won't know what to do with it. Run out of barrels to keep it in.
Man, I just hope you're right. I don't know. I just got a peculiar feeling that we oughtn't to rush into this thing, Lum.
Well, we ain't rushing into it. This is one time when we're taking every precaution we could.
It is, huh?
Why, sure. Did we take Mr. Webster's word about that spring water on Grandpap's farm? No. We went right ahead and had it annualized ourselves.
Yeah, we done that all right. I know that.
So now we know the spring's actual healthy and a good place to build a health resort. We know that Mr. Webster's honest.
Yeah, I reckon so.
So I don't see what we're worrying about.
Well, to be honest, I don't exactly know myself, Lum, but it just seems like we ought to wait a little longer or something. I don't know.
Well, when you see that big hotel we're going to build out there and we're all making money off of it, you change your mind. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I hope so. But, Lum, couldn't we just put, say, half the money in it, like, say, your half of it?
Well, that wouldn't be enough to put in there.
Wouldn't, huh?
$350. Make us look like pretty small potatoes.
It would, huh?
Yeah, the fact is $700 ain't going to make us look like too big of a potato.
Well, what do we want to look like potatoes for anyway?
Well, that's just a expression.
Potatoes ain't pretty.
I never said they was. I told you that was just an expression on potatoes.
Expression on potatoes?
Why,
No, potatoes don't have expressions, just humans. Wait a minute, what's the matter with me? Yeah, sure, I know what you're talking about now.
Well, it's about time.
Yeah, Elizabeth dug one up just the other day.
Dug one of what up?
A potato with an expression. You ought to saw it, Lum. You would have swore it had a regular face. There was a line there for the mouth and a bump for the nose and a couple of eyes. Looked just like he's grinning at you. She set it up there on the mantelpiece there at home.
I saw them. It looked like faces, too. But that ain't the kind of expression I had in mind.
What did you want, more of a sad look to it?
No, Abner. All I meant when I said that about looking like big potatoes was that, well, we want to look rich and prosperity like Mr. Webster.
Like Mr. Webster? You mean he looks like a potato?
Oh, for pity's sake.
You know, I never had noticed that, Lum. Next time I see him, I'll just take a better look at him. I always thought he was a right nice-looking feller.
Well, he is.
Of course, now that you mention it, he does have sort of a long, round face and little bitty eyes.
Abner, what I meant was... Oh, goodness, I reckon there ain't no use to try to explain it to you. You just keep getting more mixed up.
Well, would you say he looked more like a Idaho potato or early white rose?
Just forget the whole thing and find me envelope to put this money in.
Yeah, all right. He might be sort of the Bliss Triumph sort. I don't know.
See if there ain't some big ones back of the cash drawer there, Abner.
I still think we ought to wait and think this over, Lum.
Well, we've done thought it over. Hurry up, Abner.
No, ain't no envelopes here.
Well, you ain't looked yet. Now stop stalling around.
Yeah, but, Lum, I think we ought to sort of talk this.
Wait a minute. Don't bother with the envelope, Abner. Never mind.
Good. I'm proud to hear you say that.
Because there comes Mr. Webster up out there now.
Huh?
We can give him the money in personage now.
Oh, well, now, wait, Lum, before we...
Abner, I've made up our minds, and we're going in on this thing, and that's that. Now, don't you do nothing to ruin it now.
Well, I won't. I just hope we're doing the right thing.
Well, don't worry, we are. Well, how do you do, Mr. Webster?
How do you do, Mr. Edwards? And how are you, Mr. Peabody?
Howdy do.
Yes, how you was, Abner.
Huh?
And stop staring at him.
Huh?
I'm proud you dropped in, Mr. Webster. I was just fixing to come over and see you.
Yes, well, I rather imagined you'd be over to see me soon. As a matter of fact...
No, I believe you're wrong, Lum. I'd say more like a squash and a potato, a Hubbard squash, maybe.
Abner.
What's that? Did somebody say something about squash?
Well, Lum here said that you look
Abner, for goodness sakes, hush up.
Well, Lum, you said...
What seems to be the trouble here, gentlemen?
Nothing at all, Mr. Webster. Just don't pay no attention to him. He has spells. Thinks folks look like vegetables sometimes.
Oh, I see. Well, that's quite interesting.
What's interesting?
Never mind, Abner.
Oh.
What was you saying, Mr. Webster?
Well, Mr. Edwards, before we go any farther, I wish to congratulate you on your foresight and your shrewdness, your business acumen.
Well, that is... my what?
Your business acumen.
Oh, yeah, well, they're nice to have, I think.
What are they, Lum?
Hush up, Abner.
Yes, I admire a man of initiative, but I also admire the policy of being forthright and straight from the shoulder. So, what do you say, gentlemen? We come to the point.
Yeah, sure, let's do whatever we're talking about.
Yeah, let's come to it, yeah.
Mr. Edwards, now that you've had that spring water analyzed and you know...
Spring water analyzed? How do you know we done that?
I never told them. Honest, I never.
Let's not bother with how I found out, gentlemen. The principal matter to pursue at this time...
Well, wait now. Before you go on, Mr. Webster, I reckon I do owe you an apology for getting a report on that water myself, but you see, we never knowed for sure that you had one.
Don't apologize. Don't bother to explain. I understand. You see, I told you I admired you for your foresight. I would have done the same thing had I been in your place.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way about it. I never want you to misunderstand it.
Not at all. But the point now is this, gentlemen. Now that you know definitely about the spring water, I hope that your remarkable business sense will tell
would you like to see our report, Mr. Webster?
No. Not necessary, Mr. Peabody. I know what's in it.
Of course he does, Abner. He's had that water annualized himself.
Yes, of course I have. Certainly. I think we understand each other on that point sufficiently.
Oh, yeah. We understand one another something wonderful.
Well, that's fine, Mr. Edwards. I can see that you and I are going to get along admirably.
Oh, yeah, we'll get along admirably. Good, anyway.
Yes. Now my suggestion is this.
Of course, now, anytime you do want to look at our report, well, just feel free to go right ahead and do it, Mr. Webster.
Yeah, see, ours come out awful good, just like yours did. Well, to be honest, I'll admit it, I never actually thought that spring actually had any health stuff in it till we got there.
Yes. My suggestion, gentlemen, what did you say, Mr. Peabody?
Oh, I said that until we got that report, I never actually believed Grandpappy's spirited spring had all that healthy stuff in it. I just wouldn't believe it.
That's what I thought you said. Yes. Perhaps I would like to look at that report for just a moment, just to check it, you know.
Yeah, sure. Get it for him, Abner.
Yeah, sure. I'll get it right now.
You see, we want to be completely sure of our ground here. Get all the possible information we can on the quality of that water.
Why, natural.
After all, this is a fairly important venture, this health resort.
Yeah, that ain't no dream.
Yeah, here you are, Mr. Webster. Tells right in there all about that potassiums and magnesiums and all that stuff.
That's potassium, Abner.
Well, whatever it is, I can't recollect all that stuff, Lum, but it's all right there in that report, Mr. Webster, right here, right there on that piece of paper, right there. That's
yes, I see. Yes, I think I note a few slight variations in here, gentlemen.
Variations? Is there some of them in that spring water, too?
No, you misunderstand me. I mean I see some minor differences in this report and mine.
Oh.
Wonder if you gentlemen would mind if I sort of took it along and checked it with the analysis I had made,
Why, no. Love to have you do it.
Well, I'll return it right away.
Oh, no hurry. We ain't got no more use for it, I know of. Just keep it as long as you like.
Well, I'll bring it back, and Mr. Edwards, you'll never know how much I've enjoyed our little talk today.
Oh, that's all right. Just drop in any time at all. Whenever you want to discuss business acumen and all that stuff, just feel free to call.
Yes. Well, that's fine.
Wait, before you go, Mr. Webster, me and Abner got a little money here. We want to make an invest in the health resort.
Oh, that can wait, gentlemen. I want to double-check these reports before we go ahead. Want to be absolutely sure before we take in a cent of money. Well, good day, gentlemen.
Yeah, good day, Mr. Webster.
Good day.
Granny's there's an honest man if I ever seen one. You can just tell by everything about him. Did you notice that look on his face when he went out of here?
Yeah, I did. I looked at it good. Yeah.
I reckon now you'll agree with me that what I said about Mr. Webster.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to admit it, Mom. Special from the side.
Yeah, special from the side.
Yeah, at first I thought he looked more like a squash, but now when I seen him from the side there, he looked just exactly like a russet potato. I couldn't hardly keep a straight face.
Granny's, Abner, I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Mr. Webster paid Lum and Abner a call yesterday and became very interested in the old fellow's report on the analysis of the spring water on Grandpappy Spear's farm. As a matter of fact, he borrowed their report in order to check it with the one that he had made a week or so ago. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their Jot 'em Down store and library. Lum is talking on the telephone. Listen.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Yeah, I understand. All right then, Mr. Webster. Yep. Uh-huh. Goodbye.
Don't he want our money yet, Lum?
No, he's still sort of checking our report with his'n. Says he wants to get everything in good shape before he starts taking in an invest.
I wish he'd hurry up, 'cause I'm getting anxious to get in on that health resort idea.
You there?
Yes, sirree.
Well, yesterday you was trying to hold me back from making the invest. Said we ought to wait a little longer.
Yeah, well, I might have, Lum, but I don't know. It just seems like quick as I found out Mr. Webster didn't want our money, well, I just got interested in it right away.
Well, that's just plain human nature, I reckon.
It is, huh? Well, I got it.
You take folks, well, they act that way.
They do, huh?
Yeah, tell them they can't have something, and right away they want it.
Yeah, well, I just got to thinking about everybody else making money off of that deal, and me just sitting here and...
Wait a minute, there comes your papa up out there.
Papa? I reckon where he's been.
I don't know. I can't keep track of him.
I wonder if he went out playing golf.
Golf?
Yeah.
At his age?
Well, I don't think he can actually do it, but see, Charlie Redfield's been trying to get him to go in there to the county seat for a few innings of that golfing.
I never knowed Charlie could play that game.
Well, I don't think he can. But last Christmas, somebody sent him a bag of them golfing bats, and he's just been dying to use them ever since.
Oh, yeah, them. I saw his woman out in the backyard beating rugs with them.
Yeah.
He lent one of them iron ones to Grandpa Masters. He's using it for walking stick.
Yeah, I seen him the other day down the street. Made a good one, too. Like I had one myself. Yeah, come in, Papa. Where you been, out golf batting?
How's that, son?
I say, whereabouts have you been?
Oh, you know what, Abner? I've been over to the Clark's place.
Well, that's just what I asked you.
Huh?
Never mind, Papa. What was you doing over at the Clark's?
I was umpiring, you might say.
Umpiring?
Yeah.
Then you was playing golf,
No, I was. Mr. and Mrs. Clark had got into argue, but I was trying to straighten them out.
Oh.
You mean Clark's was actually having an argument?
Yeah, might die tooth and fist.
Well, excuse you. I never thought Miss Clark would have enough nerve to stand up again, old Dave.
Oh, that Agatha, she generally just sits back in the corner and lets old Dave rant and rave. Don't pay no attention at all.
It ain't hard to tell who wears the breeches in that family.
What was Dave and Agatha arguing about, Papa?
Oh, I don't know why. Agatha wants to take a job working over there at the war plant, and Dave don't want her to do it.
Oh, why not?
Well,
Don't see nothing wrong with that.
Well, you know, Dave, he says he don't want his woman to have to work.
No.
That's ridiculous nowadays. Lots of women folks is taking jobs these days. Fact is, they have to do it. It's the only way we can get enough workers in some communities.
Yeah, but Dave says his woman ain't going to work.
Well, in times like these, I'd say that was out and out unpatriotic of him.
Well, I don't know now, Lum. I don't particularly know what I blame old Dave so much. I wouldn't want Elizabeth to go out and take no job neither.
Why, Abner, I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Well, it's the truth. Women folks just ain't got the strength to go to work summers like that.
Why, they have to. There's plenty of good stout women.
Well, they're stout enough for what little work they have to do around the house, sure.
Yeah, you're right there, son. They're all right for them little household chores.
Why, sure, a little bit of sweeping and mopping they have to do ain't gonna hurt them.
Oh,
a little scrubbing and washing the clothes now and then.
Yeah, and a little wood chopping.
Little churning,
plowing.
shingling the roof once in a while, half-soling a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Little easy stuff that they can stand up under,
Yeah, and they got all that time to rest, too. That's
why, sure they have. They sit around the house there and rest. But you put a woman on a regular job, she'd break down under it in no time at all.
Oh, sure.
See, Lum, women folks is frail little dainty things. They ain't strong and got lots of muscles like us men folks have.
Well, Abner, it just looks to me like your whole trouble is that you got old-timey, out-of-date ideas on this subject.
Well, maybe so, but I know what I want my woman to do and what I don't want her to do, Lum.
Right. You got to take a stand. Be firm with them.
See, Lum, you don't understand these things, 'cause you've always been an unmarried bachelor.
Maybe I have, but I know that Agatha Clark is right in this case. And I know that old Dave bullies her something wonderful.
Well, yeah, I'll admit he bullies her all right, but I still agree with him on his point of view.
Well, why oughtn't Agatha to go to work? She ain't got no children to care for her. And that little place they got, that ain't hard to keep up.
No, Lum, but a woman's place is in the home and field. I've always said that.
Yeah, but they need workers like her pretty desperate right now. Walt Bates can't hardly get enough help over there at the war plant to keep going. I'd say a woman ought to be proud to be doing her share in the war.
Well, of course, there's that side of it, too, I reckon.
The way old Dave's acting, you'd think he didn't want us to win the war. He's actual holding things back. Retarding progress.
He weren't holding back with the loud talk when I was over there. I'll say that for him.
Oh, he's a joer. He is that. Yeah.
I tried to calm him down, but never done no good. Just seemed to rile him up more. I never thought such a...
Something ought to be did about that,
Yes,
though. We oughtn't to just stand by and see him bulldoze that poor little helpless woman.
Why, he looked like he was mad enough to start throwing things at her.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
No telling what he's liable to do when he gets his tempers up that way.
That big bully throwing pans and lamps at that poor little defenseless woman.
For the man to wear the breeches in the family's all right, but he just overdoes it.
You mean he wears 2 pair of them, Lum?
No, but...
Oh, I thought maybe he bought himself one of them 2-pant suits. Spent all the money on himself and wouldn't buy her nothing. That selfish varmint.
Hey, something ought to be did for her.
We ought to buy her a new dress.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't suppose old David let her wear it, that selfish critter.
Well, wait, Abner. When I said that about him overdoing the breeches wearing, I just meant he oughtn't to boss her around so much and beat her up.
Is he beating her up, too?
Well, no, I don't think so, but No telling what a fellow like him might do when he gets riled up.
Oh, not a bit of telling in the world. That ornery varmint,
Boy, something ought to be did now.
Yes, sir. I'll tell you what. He ought to be tarred and feathered and run clean out of town on a rail. That's what ought to be did to him.
Well, leastways somebody ought to give him a good talking to. I know that.
Sir, I say that I tried to give him that. Something ought to be did, boys.
Yes, it ought. That poor little woman. Poor Agatha. Bless her heart. Bless her little heart. Over there ducking and dodging like a frog in a hailstorm. That dishes whistling around her head. That big bully standing up there throwing stuff at her.
You know what I think? I think something ought to be did now. We
Yes, sir.
Said that. I do too, though. I don't know just what, though.
I know. We ought to get them golfing bats at Charlie Redfield's and go right over at old Dave's place and put a stop to his carrying on.
Yes, sir.
Well, wait a minute. Now, I think we ought to try to talk to Dave first. Try to reason the thing out with him.
So that I'll fist fight him, that's what I'll do. That's the way I'll reason with him.
Wait a minute.
I'll sure do it. I'll box fight him.
Good for you. I'll get my musket and a few cannonballs.
Hold your horses, fellas. Wait a minute. All you do is just get yourselves into a batch of trouble. Best way to handle these things is just sit down with a fella and have a good heart-to-heart talk with him. Try to point out to him where he's wrong and all that.
Lord, how can you sit down with a fella when he's standing up on a chair throwing pots and flat irons and everything else at his poor little woman?
Yeah, but we don't know he's actually throwing flat irons at her.
Oh, he's doing it. I know he is. He's just a type, that varmint. That's what he'd do.
Well, I still say it wouldn't do no good to go over there and start mixing it up with him.
Yeah, he is pretty big, all right. Maybe we ought to get Cedric to go with us, Lum. He can stop off at Charlie Redfield's and get them golfing bats, and we'll go over there.
We ain't gonna do no such a thing. We're gonna handle this just like growed-up A-dogs.
We better do something in a hurry, though, before it's too late. Poor little Agatha.
Yeah, something's got to be done.
Yes,
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We'll call up Dave and invite him to come over here to the store.
Fight him over here, huh?
The walk over here will sort of cool him off, and by the time he gets over here, he ought to be calmed down enough to where he'll listen to reason.
Oh, well, you can try it. I got my doubts if it'll work, though, Lum.
Well, I think it'll work. I'll try it.
I still think we ought to rush right over and save that poor little woman.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah, come on, Papa.
I'll stay right here before you both get hurt. Now, just wait a minute. Just a minute. Hello, is this you, Dave? This is Lum Abner.
Can you see what he's throwing now, Lum?
Say, Dave, I was wondering if you had time to drop around to the store here.
That varmint.
I'd like to discuss something with you.
Can you hear things crashing around, Lum?
Well, why can't you leave?
Hope he don't break
What's
up
the
the
trouble?
sewing machine.
Something's got to be done.
Yeah.
I told you something
I
ought to
see.
be done.
Well,
Why don't we...
never mind then, Dave. We can discuss it later. Yeah, all right then, Dave. Goodbye.
What happened, Lum? Why can't he leave?
Well, he can't walk down the street without his breeches, can he?
Huh?
It seems that poor little Agatha had taken Dave's overalls away from him and put them on herself and went over and got that job at the war plant.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggy Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Mr. Webster still has Lum and Abner's report on the health-promoting properties in Grandpap Spears Spring, and he still hasn't started accepting investments from the proposed health resort. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in the Jot 'em Down store and library discussing a rumor which Abner's heard. Listen.
Well, now, I know I heard something like that, Lum.
Oh, that's just some gossip you heard somewhere, Abner. Or leastways thought you did.
Huh?
You can't depend on gossip because that stuff's never right.
Yeah, Lum, but this ain't exactly gossip, I don't think. Caleb Weehawk said that Grandpappy Spears and Mr. Webster had a big meeting twixt themselves last night, and then they held another this morning. He ought to know.
Well, what's wrong with that? Grandpap's president of the company, ain't he?
Well, yeah.
I don't see nothing wrong with him and Mr. Webster having some meetings.
Well, no, but see, Ezra Seastonk said that Grandpap was kind of talking like he was going to own a lot of that health resort that we're going to build.
Well, he ought to own a big share of it. It ain't no more than right. After all, it's his spring there that we're building the health resort around, ain't it?
Well, yeah.
If it weren't for that healthy spring water there, well, there wouldn't be no sense of building the hotel and all that stuff.
Well, no, I reckon not.
Oh, I'm glad to see him getting a good share of the company. He deserves it. He's lived on that place for years and years.
Yeah, I know.
Anybody ought to make any money out of it, it ought to be Grandpap.
Yeah, well.
Pretty nice for Aunt Charity, too.
Yeah, sure. Oh, it's nice for him, I reckon, but...
There's a deserving woman if we'll ever know one.
Oh, yeah.
She's got a preserved seat in a better world if anybody in this town has.
Yeah, she's pure gold. I just hope that Grandpap leaves a little share of it for us, though.
Well, don't worry. There'll be plenty of shares for everybody.
They will, huh?
Why, sure. The only reason me and you won't get too big of a share is that we ain't got enough to invest in the first place.
Well, what was that? Come over that again, Lum. I believe I jumped the track back there or something.
I just said we can't expect a very big share in the health resort company because we ain't got much money to invest in it. It's just like that old Eddard saying, we have to have money to make money, looks like.
Yeah, I reckon that's just the way things have to have money to make money. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, see, the
if
idea...
If you done got money, well, what do you need to make any for long?
Well, that's sort of the idea of it. Only you got the wrong slants on it. You see, if you ain't got no money, you can't make none.
You can't.
Got to have something to get started on. Make you invest.
Well, how does a fella get started?
Well, for instance, say he takes $1,000 and invests it. First thing you know, he's got $10,000. $10,000? Yeah, and then he takes the $10,000 and he invests that.
Now, whoa, now, just a minute. Now, back that up now. Where did he get that first 1,000?
That's what he started with.
Yeah, but where did he get it to start with? That's what I want to know.
Oh, well, he just, he had that.
I know you did. You done told me that, Lum, but what I want to know is, where did he get it? Did he steal it?
Of course not.
Bound you he did, the way you keep dodging the question. He's a thief.
He never stole the money. Now, you can get that idea right out of your head.
Well, what'd he do then? Just find it somewhere?
No, he more than likely took him $100 and invested it in something, and the first thing you know, he had $1,000.
Well, I'll be bad, man. Doggy, where'd he get the 100?
I don't know, Abner.
Lum, you showing out he ain't stealing that money somewhere.
No, of course he ain't.
Oh, I don't know. It sounds to me like he's getting that money awful easy there for some reason.
Well, he's just a smart businessman, that's all.
Well, he's smart at something, I can say that for him. Another make $10,000 that way. That's easy.
He just knows how to make good invest.
Oh, he must.
As far as the $100 goes, he more than likely worked and saved it up, I reckon.
What sort of work did he do?
I don't know, Abner. Any kind of work he could save $100.
Yeah, I just wondered what a fella could do to save $100. I might go into the
cut out chewing tobacco and stuff like that.
Cut out?
Mm-hmm.
You mean cut out them little squares of it that you buy?
No, quit chewing tobacco. Save his money.
Make $100?
Yeah, near popcorn, go to picture shows or anything like that.
Dogged, I don't chew, but I'll start it up and quarter it if I can make $100 doing it. I'll tell you, that's easy money right there. I'll take that job.
Anybody ought to be able to save $100. Start out with nothing, not even have a nickel.
Oh. He never had a nickel, this fella?
I don't know.
Yeah. All I can say is, that you sure picked a poor fella to use for an example of what you're telling me.
Picked a poor fella?
Yeah. He said he never had nothing to start out with, not even a nickel. Well, first thing you know, he's got $10,000. And here on the other hand, just a minute ago, you were saying that you had to have money to make money. He never had but a nickel.
Oh, well, what I meant by... well, let's see now. What did I mean?
Yeah, what did you...
Get a feller sort of mixed up.
I know one thing. I'd like to go in partnerships with that fella. Oh, what's his name anyway, Lum?
Who?
This fella's making all that money.
Oh, I don't know. I just used him for an example.
I know you did, but what's his name? You know he's got a name, Lum.
Well, it could be most anybody.
Yeah, but just who is it? That's what I want to know.
But now look,
just
it's the whole idea. When I said a
know
fella
that he
has
must
to have...
have stole that money, Lum, the way you're trying to hide him. He stole it so as the world, and you know it.
I told you he never stole the money. He made it all honest.
All right, if he's honest and upstanding, what do you so fear to tell me his name for then?
All right, if it'll make you happy, we'll say John Doe or John Smith.
Which one of them?
All right, we'll make it John Smith.
John Smith, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Now, are you satisfied?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Just want to know who it was. Hard to believe, though. You sure you got that straight, Lum?
Of course I am.
You mean old Uncle John Smith, Lou Smith's brother?
He's as good a John Smith as any, I reckon.
Why, that varmint.
Varmint?
That snake in me wheeze. You know that old man owed me $4 now for over a year, and just last Friday he stood right out there on our front porch and looked me right in the eye and told me he never had a dime to his name.
Owed you some money?
Yes, sir, $4, and he said he never had a dime to his name.
He's owing the store some money.
Well, that's me, ain't it? I'm a partnership of it.
Well, just recollect that if he ever pays you.
Just stood out there, that smile on his face.
Oh, well,
If he was broke. Running around here with $10,000 in his pocket.
Well, now, just to
So,
say...
if I'm going over there, that makes me mad. I'm going to collect that money or plow off that lower 40 with him.
Well, come back here, Abner, and sit down here. I never meant Uncle John was actually one. I just...
You said that you was posse that was him.
Look, Abner, all I was doing was just using that name for example. It wasn't really him.
You sure?
Why, sure, I'm sure.
Who was it then? Wait, was it Charlie Withers?
Charlie Withers?
Yeah, that might be where you got mixed up, Lum. You know, Charlie and Uncle John, they look enough alike to be on blood brothers. Was that who it was, Charlie?
Yeah. Let's say it was Charlie.
You sure this time, now?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anything to get this settled.
My doggy, there's another varmint that owes me money. I'm going over to his place, Lum, and tell that critter...
Oh, for goodness sakes, Abner, come back here. It wasn't Charlie Withers, neither. Sit down there now.
For the land sakes alive. Who was it then?
I don't know.
Well, I wish you'd make up your mind, Lum. You tell me it was one fella, and then I'm going to jump on him, and you start telling me it was somebody else. I want my money.
It ain't nobody, I don't think.
Lum, I bound his Uncle John. You're just trying to protect him.
I ain't no such a
Yes,
thing.
you are. I can see it now. You're just trying to get in good with him since you found out he's rich. You just want to be on his side.
Oh, for pity's sake.
I'd dog his Lum, Eddard. I'd be ashamed of myself if I was you. Turning again me your old true friend just for a few paltry dollars.
Oh, to goodness, Abner, you can get yourself carried further away than any 6 humans in the whole universe.
Lum, look me square in the eye. Look here. Look me in the eye.
I'm looking at you.
All right, just don't glance off that way now. Look at me now. Right
All
there.
What is it?
Just admit the whole thing.
For
now.
goodness sakes. Can't you understand it? It wasn't Uncle John or Charlie Withers or nobody else in Pine Ridge.
Well, who was it then? Doggy, you got my curiosity surrounded up here. I can't hardly stand it long.
Abner, does any fellow by the name of John Doe owe you any money?
John Doe, no, not that I know of. Why'd he say he did?
No. Have you got anything against anybody named John Doe?
No.
Do you know anybody named John Doe?
No, I don't believe I do. Doe.
Oh, good. That's who it is then, John Doe.
Well, Doggy, I'm sure glad we got that settled.
You're glad. I'm practical hysterical with joy myself.
Whereabouts does this Mr. Doe live at?
I don't know.
Cherry Hill?
Abner, he don't actually live no place.
He don't? You mean he's a tramp?
Oh, me.
Oh, 'cause I'll say one thing for him. He must be a smart tramp to make all that money without doing no work at all.
Listen now. Wait a minute, though. There comes Grandpap Spears. I never was so glad to see anybody else in my whole life.
Wonder if Grandpap's heard about that feller Doe.
I know one fellow that don't want to hear about him no more. Tell you that.
Doggy, I want... Yeah, howdy, Grandpap.
Yeah, howdy.
Come on back here.
Yeah, how are you today, Grandpap?
I'd rather you fellas wouldn't call me Grandpap no more, if you don't mind. Huh? I'd rather you'd refer to me as Mr. Spears. Mr. Spears.
Yeah, that's a heap more dignified for a feller that's head of a big company like I am.
Oh, I see, yeah. Well, say, Mr. Spears, I know where we can get an awful big investor for the company. A smart tramp from Cherry Hill named Charlie Doe.
Oh, for pity's sakes, Abner, will you forget that?
Well, a tramp ain't got no use for his money. Might just as well put it in a health resort.
Yes, sir, I don't know where me and Mr. Webster are going to need no investors for our company or not, fellers.
Ain't gonna need no investor.
What do you mean by that, Grandpap? Well, I can't tell you just yet, Lum. All I can say now is this. You fellers are looking at a future millionaires.
Millionaires?
Yes, sir. I've always said you don't have to have money to make money. Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Grandpappy Spears, president of the proposed health resort company, threw somewhat of a scare into Lum and Abner yesterday when he indicated that the company was no longer looking for capital investments. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their jot-em-down store and library. Lum is talking on the telephone.
Well, when did Mr. Webster tell you that, Ezra? I see.
Tell him what?
Yeah, well, that's cute, all right. No, I ain't talked to him for a couple of days now.
Wish they had a telephone or two receivers.
Well, Grandpappy Spears was in here yesterday, and he sort of hinted that they didn't want no more investors.
I'll invent one of them so I can hear it too.
No, he never come right out flat-footed and told us nothing definite, though.
Claim he weren't supposed to tell nothing. That's what he told us.
Yeah, Grandpap talked awful big when he was over here.
Said he's going to be a millionaire.
Yeah, well, if I hear anything more, I'll let you know, Ezra.
Or a thousandaire or something.
Oh, I'm much obliged for calling. Yeah, all right. Goodbye.
What has Ezra heard now, Lum?
Well, you know, he was appointed on the committee to raise the money to build a health resort and all.
Yeah.
And this morning, Mr. Webster told him that the committee was unsolved or something.
Unsolved?
Said they wouldn't need it no more.
You mean they done raised enough money to build a hotel and everything?
No, according to Ezra, the committee hadn't actually raised no money yet.
Well, Lord, me, you can't build a hotel without money, Lum. I know that. I ain't much of a head for business, but I can see that myself.
Yeah, well, that's just part of the whole thing.
You don't reckon Mr. Webster done give up the idea, do you?
No, as far as I can find out, he's still aiming on developing Grandpap Spring and putting up a health resort.
Well.
Grandpap says that himself.
Well, you can't always depend on what Grandpap says, old Lum. He's aggravates, you know that.
No, but I know there's something suspicious going on twixt him and Mr. Webster. Whatever it is, I don't like it. I know that.
You don't, huh?
No, don't sound good to me.
Well, say, Lum, did Mr. Webster ever give us back our analysis?
What?
That report we made on the spring water telling what healthy stuff was in it and all that.
Oh, yeah, he sent that back.
Oh, I was wondering if he's just going to keep it.
No, he had the chauffeur of his bring it back yesterday, I believe it was.
Yeah, see, you know, there's something peculiar about that, Mr. Webster, and that report. You know it, Lum?
What do you mean?
Well, you recollect the other day when Mr. Webster come in the store here?
Yeah.
Now, he wasn't interested at all in our report, and said he never wanted to look at it even. Then I just happened to mention something about how good our report come out, and right away he got anxious to see it. Just couldn't hardly wait to take it with him when he left here.
Yeah, I recollect that, but he told us why he wanted to take it.
Why?
He wanted to check it over with the report he had made before we got ours.
Yeah. Well, it just seems sort of funny to me he'd changed over so quick that way, though.
Well, I don't think there's nothing there to worry about. He's honest, I know that.
He is, huh?
Must be. What's curious, though, is why he don't want to take no invest from nobody. Especially after that was one of the main ideas when this thing first come up.
Yeah, well, it still sort of looks like it. Wait a minute. There comes Papa. Maybe he's heard something.
Oh, I doubt that.
Well, he might have now. Papa gets around an awful lot. Especially where there's talking going on down around the barber shop and places like that. That horseshoe game down there at the blacksmith shop. He's always down there.
Yeah, I'm afraid your papa does too much of the talking himself to ever hear anything that anybody else says.
Yeah, he talks. He's got big ears. Yeah, come on in, Papa.
Yes, sir. Oh, hello there, Lum.
How do you do, Mr. Peabody? How are you today?
Yes, sir.
How about you been, Papa?
Lum, I want to ask you a question. Now, what did you say, Abner?
Oh, nothing, Papa, nothing.
Well, what was it, son? Go ahead and say it.
Well, it weren't nothing, Papa.
No, sir, now, if you got something on your mind, out with it, son.
Well, all I said...
You know the trouble with Abner, Lum? He's a good boy, but he takes after his mama too much.
Oh.
Always afraid to speak out. I never saw such a... now then, Lum, I want to ask you something, Lum.
Go right ahead, Mr. Peabody.
You're the law around this town, ain't you, Lum?
Well, I reckon you could say that. I'm Justice of the Peace, so I represent the law here, you might say.
Good.
Here, wait a minute, Papa. Now, you ain't went and got yourself in trouble, have you?
Son, I'm old enough to take care of myself.
I know that, but
I can take care of myself.
Yeah, all right.
Just what did you want to know about the law for Mr. Peabody?
Oh, well, sir, you're the one that swears out the warrants for arrest. Ain't you, Lum? The warrants.
Sure.
Arrest, yeah.
Well, who do you want to have arrested, Papa? Has somebody robbed you?
No, don't interrupt me now.
All right.
Trying to tell them something.
Is it something about Mr. Webster or Grandpap Spears?
Abner, let your papa explain what this is all about. Give him a chance to talk.
Yeah, give me a chance to talk.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to do, talk here.
I just hope, though, that you ain't went and got yourself in a batch of trouble or something now, Papa.
Well, don't worry. Just wait now until he tells us. Oh, go ahead now, Mr.
I feel it
Peabody.
coming on.
What's bothering you anyway?
Yeah, well, sir, you're the Justice of the Peace.
Yeah, that's right.
Now tell me this, Lum.
Yeah.
If somebody was to hit somebody else right square on the head, he ought to be arrested, oughtn't he?
Well, yeah, I reckon so. Depending, of course, on status quo circumstantials and accesses to the facts and all that stuff.
Oh, natural.
Yes,
First, we got to know more about habeas corpus details.
What's he talking about?
Why did he hit him, and what did he hit him with, and whereabouts did it happen?
Yeah, tell us all about it, Papa. Be honest now.
Well, sir, the reason is a little old checker game. Just a little old checker game, that's all.
Lots of big crimes comes out of them little things like criminal intents with Alice aforethought.
Oh, my.
Yeah. The hitting is did with a cane.
Cane, huh?
Yeah, cane.
Carrying unconcealed weapon.
And the place is the private property of the feller that gets hit. Right inside his parlor, fact says.
Only place to get hit.
That's bad, too. Violating personal property rights. Insulting the battery.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, a feller that'd do that ought to be arrested, aren't he, Lum?
Well, looking at it legal, there ain't no two ways about it.
See how long he's squinting his eyes up. That's like the county judge does when he's studying. Now, where did all this happen, Papa? Did you see it? Who was it got hit?
Don't ask so many questions, son. I'm telling the...
well, you'll have to tell us, though, Mr. Potty. Who's the victim?
I'll tell you who the victim is. Otis Masters.
Grandpa Masters, you mean?
Yes, sir. Otis Masters.
For goodness sake.
Who'd be mean enough to hit an old feller like him, and special with a walking stick?
Yeah, ought to be seen.
Sure.
Yeah, this sounds like it might be serious.
That snake in the weeds. Who was it, Papa? Oh, was it that Grandpappy Spears?
No, it wasn't old Milford Spears.
It wouldn't be him, no way. Grandpap gets mad when he plays checkers and all that, but I don't believe he'd get that mad. I've seen him so mad he'd just stomp his feet, but I don't believe he'd ever hit anybody.
Well, I don't know. You can't tell about him now when he gets riled up on him. I saw the time right here in this store when Grandpap tore the door clean off in the stove there just 'cause I beat him 3 games hand running.
Yeah, but your papa just now said it weren't him, Abner, so we don't have to worry
Yeah,
about Grandpap.
All right. Well, who was it then, Papa? I'm dying to know who the varmint is. Tell me.
Yeah, you'll have to tell us his name, Mr. Peabody, so as we can write it on the warrant for his arrest.
Why,
Yeah, I know
before we can make out a warrant, well, you got to write his name right on it, Papa.
I know that.
Well,
I don't know why you're holding back his name. We
Well,
got
what
to know
is
that.
his name?
I'll tell you his name.
All right, that's what I want to hear. Who is it? Who is it? That's what I want to know.
Wait just a minute.
I want
I believe that was our ring.
Oh,
I say I'm going to tell
Might be Ezra with some news about Webster. I'll get it.
all right, Lum. Who is the critter now?
I want to tell it direct to the Justice of the Peace.
Hello, John Down Store and Library. Lum Edwards talking.
Let
Tell
me do
him
it
before
my
you
way.
tell your own son.
How's that? Y'all be quiet. I can't hear nothing.
I'm your boy.
Oh, yeah, Finance is here. Hold the phone. Wait a minute, though. Who is this talking? Well, that's who I thought it was. I thought I recognized your voice.
Who is it, Lum?
Well, how you feel now, Grandpa?
Grandpa.
Oh, well, I feared you'd be in bed, maybe. Why, on account of your head, of course.
Oh, Grandpa Masters. That's
What,
who
Otis?
it is.
Well, didn't you get whopped on the head with a cane?
That's Otis.
You never. Well, Finance said that you were.
Let me talk to him.
Yeah, you better. Just a minute, Grandpa. Here's Finance Peabody. Here, take it.
Yes. Hello? Is that you, Otis? Yeah, this is Finance.
Your papa must be all mixed up on this.
Yeah, I'm tolerable, yes. I'm sorry for that I'm late, but I'll be right over, Otis. Yeah. You're all right. Goodbye.
Papa, now, what was the idea you sitting there and telling all that stuff about Grandpa Master getting hit on the head with a cane when he weren't?
Yeah, I'm afraid you sort of got your stories mixed up there, little Miss Peabody.
No, I never got mixed up, and I still want to swear out that warrant for arrest.
You do?
Well, whose name do you want on it? That's what I want to know.
I want my own name on it.
Your name?
Yes, sir, my name, Finest Stonewall Peabody. And hurry it up.
Well, here, wait now, Papa. Here, if Grandpa Masters is feeling all right now and don't recollect nothing about it, well, when is all this supposed to happen to him?
It ain't happened.
Well, what do you want to have yourself arrested for, then?
Yeah, 'cause it's going to.
Huh?
I'm on my way to Otis Masters' place right now to play him a game of checkers, and I know blame well what's going to happen.
Huh?
There's the aggravatingest one checker player in the whole wide world.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down Store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum and Abner are pretty much disturbed over the rumors that Mr. Webster and Grandpappy Spears are planning to form some kind of a closed company to build a health resort and shut out all other investors. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows on their way to Mr. Webster's office to demand a showdown on the matter.
Did you bring the money along with you, Lum?
Oh, yeah. Got it right here in my satchel. All $700 of it.
You ought to pin that in your pocket, Lum. You wouldn't want to lose that much money. That's what Elizabeth always does with me. She gives me money. She takes a safety pin and pins it in my pocket.
I know, and it always looks silly seeing you get on a train with your money pinned in your inside coat pocket and a pocket full of sweet potatoes.
Well, that's all right. A feller's got to have money and he's got to eat. That takes care of both of them. I just want to be sure that you had the money
Well, I've
with you.
got it, all $700 of it. That's the whole idea of going over here to see Mr. Webster.
Yeah, well, you reckon we can talk him into taking the money and letting us be investors?
Why, you dead blame right we can.
We can,
I'll
huh?
put that $700 in that health resort or know the reason why.
Good for us. Sure.
It'll tell Mr. Webster and Grandpappy Spears they can't keep everybody else out of the company.
Yeah, well, do we know for sure if that's what they're doing?
Well, of course we do. Ain't hard to tell that.
Why, them varmints. Them low-down snake in the weeds. That Grandpappy Spears, I never did trust him anyway.
Well, I don't much believe it's Grandpap's fault, Abner.
Oh, it is.
Mr. Webster more than likely talked him into this new plan.
Yeah, maybe so. I doubt it, though. I just hope we don't run into that Grandpap at Mr. Webster's office. I just can't hardly stand him since he's got so high and mighty, putting on airs all the time.
Well, this is the first time he's ever been Prez of anything.
Yeah.
Just went to his head's off.
It's dead. I agree with you. It sure
Well,
is.
here's the place. You know what all you're supposed to say now.
Huh? Yeah.
All right, let's go inside.
Yeah, that's what we come over first. Yes. Pretty nice little office they got in here, ain't it?
Oh, it ain't so much. Reckon where everybody's at.
I don't know. No telling. Maybe they went fishing or... Wait a minute. Believe somebody's coming out of that little room there. Door's opening there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you do, gentlemen? What can I do for you?
Yeah, howdy, Grandpap.
Well, sir, I'm referred to as President Spears around here, Sonny.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Say, Grandpap, President Spears, we want to see Mr. Webster.
Yeah, whereabouts is he at? Is he in that room there? Well, hold on now. You fellas can't just walk into Mr. Webster's office that way.
Well, we want to see him. It's the only way to get in, walk in.
I can't help it. You gotta see me first.
Well, we've done saw you. Now let us see him.
No, nothing doing. Before you see him, you've got to see me.
Well, now, what do we want to see you for?
'Cause you've got to see me before you can see him to see if it's all right for you to see him.
Well, wait a minute. Come over it again now. I believe I jumped the track there. Rack 'em up and shoot again, Grandpa.
Well, see, I got to see Mr. Webster, see if you can see him. But first you got to see me to see if... Now, wait a minute. Let's see. How does that go? He told me.
Well, if we want to see him, I don't see no sense in...
hold your horses. I'll get the pigeon-toed thing now.
Oh, my
This is still kind of new to me. See, I ain't been in the health resort business long enough to learn everything about it.
You ain't learned nothing about nothing, sir, I know.
Grandpap, cut out this seesawing and let us talk to Mr. Webster. Our time's valuable. We
Yes,
left the store over there locked up.
Why, sure our time's valuable. Come on here now.
Well, now, wait now. Have you fellas got a appointment?
Do we have to have one of them to see Mr. Webster?
No, but you got to have one to see me. See, I'm president of this outfit myself.
Oh, well, how do we go about getting an appointment to see you?
I don't know. Nobody's come in to see me so far. So I don't know just how you do go about that.
For goodness sakes, at this rate, we never will get to see Mr. Webster or nobody else.
Wait a minute, I better go in and ask Mr. Webster how to do that.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
He knows all about them things.
Well, go in there and ask him. Don't keep us standing
And while you're in there, tell him we want to see him.
Yeah, right away. Doggy, the health resort business is more complicated than I figured it was, you know.
Well, Grandpap just makes it that way. That ain't necessary, all that monkey business.
Why,
I've been president of a lot of things. I never did have nothing like that going on.
They ought to make him office boy, that's what they ought to make. Or office man. He's a little too old for a boy, I reckon.
Now, listen, Abner, when we get in there to see Mr. Webster, don't let him buffalo us now.
Don't let him buffalo us, huh?
No, sir. Make him know we mean business.
We mean business.
No pussyfooting around.
No pussyfooting around.
We're going to talk straight from the shoulder blade.
Right from the blade.
We're going to make him take us in as investors if it's the last thing we do.
Good for us.
Don't let him talk us out of it.
No, sir, I'm for it.
Another thing, we got to put up a united front.
How do we do that now, Long?
Well, you got to show him that we're together in this.
Oh.
I want you to agree with everything I see. Don't forget that now. Anything I say, you agree with me.
Agree with you, huh?
Yeah. Listen close to what I say and sort of follow my lead.
Oh, yeah.
Lay it on pretty heavy, too.
Oh, you know me. You can depend on me, Lum, at a time like this.
For instance, if I say... Oh, wait, mind out there comes Grandpap.
You say what?
You got all that down now.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that. What did Mr. Webster say, President Spears?
He says you can go right in, feller.
Well, good. Come on, Lum. Come on.
I don't believe you can get an appointment with me for a couple of days, though. Oh, that's too bad. Well, I reckon we can stand to wait for that. Come on, Abner, let's get in.
Yeah. See you in a couple of days, President Spears.
Well, Mr. Edwards and Mr. Peabody, come in, sit down. I'm glad to see you.
Thank you. Just sit right here.
That's right, make yourself comfortable,
Yeah,
gentlemen.
we ought to take one of them cigars, too, laying there.
Help yourself,
keep
plenty
out
of
there.
them for everybody.
Mr. Webster.
Yes?
It's a nice day, ain't it?
Oh, yes, sir. It sure is a nice day. I agree with that. I sure do. Nicest day I ever seen, I do believe. Weather's just right. It sure is. Ain't too hot. It ain't too cold.
Abner,
It's just...
hush up, for goodness sake.
Well, you told me to agree.
Not yet.
Yes, gentlemen, it is a nice day. It's not too hot, not too cold.
Yes, just about right. Just about right.
It is. Not too hot. Well, what we come here to say to you, Mr. Webster...
What am I indebted for this unexpected but altogether welcome visit?
Well, we'll talk about that later. What we come over here for was to talk about this health resort company.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, indeed. A subject dear to my heart and to the whole city of Pine Ridge, I trust.
I agree.
Now, as I recollect it, Mr. Webster, when you first come here and started up this idea of the health resort, you said you wanted everybody in town to invest their money in it.
Yes, sir, you said that. I agree with Lum. That is just what you said.
Abner. And now we hear rumors that you ain't going to let nobody else invest in it.
Yeah, I agree. We've heard them. Yes, sir, we sure have. We've heard
I
them.
want to tell you, Mr. Webster, I've had a little experience in such matters. I'm a businessman myself, you know.
Yes, sir. Now, I agree that Lum is a businessman. He is that. You can say a lot of things about him, but he is a businessman. There's the best one old businessman that you ever seen in your life. You might not believe it, but he's got brains up there in that little old head of his. When it comes to business, that Lum can
That's
outdo
enough,
it.
Abner.
Am I doing good?
Yeah. Now, I don't know exactly what you're up to, Mr. Webster, but whatever it is, I don't like it.
I agree. No, sir, I don't like it.
I could be wrong about some of this. I have been wrong once or twice in my life.
Once or twice? Why, he's wrong all the time. Yes, sir, that Lum's just being modest, Mr. Webster.
Abner, watch what you're saying.
Well, I agree with you, Lum. You're the longest one human in the whole
Abner.
world.
Now, just a minute here, Mr. Edwards. What seems to be your trouble?
I'll tell you what it is. Now, you might think you can keep the rest of the folks here out of the company, but not me and Abner.
I agree.
I may look a little backwoodsy to you,
Yes,
but
sir, I agree. That Lum looks backwoods as all get out. There is, without a doubt, the countryest looking one human I ever seen in my life. Why, just look at him. You'd think he'd never come down out of the mountains. He's a hillbilly if I ever seen one.
Now, just a minute, gentlemen. Please, just a moment. I think I see what's bothering you, and I'm sure I can explain everything.
Yeah, well, now, I don't want you to think I'm trying to interfere with your business, Mr. Webster. I ain't no common little Budinsky.
No, sir, he ain't no little Budinsky. He's a big un. Biggest Budinsky in this town. I agree with you, Lum.
Yes, sir, that is. Well, anyways, we're aiming on being in that company, making an invest. Of course, I admit we ain't got much money.
No, I agree. We ain't got much money.
But on the other hand...
Fact is, we ain't got hardly any money. Can't hardly pay our bills, to be honest.
Oh, we pay our bills, Abner.
Yeah, we have an awful hard time doing it, old Lum. Have to scrimp and scrape and scratch around to get enough together to get by on.
Well, it ain't that bad, Abner.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, you're right, Lum. I agree with you. We ain't got no money, no, sir. Poverty-stricken, you might say. Yes,
well, Abner, I admit we ain't millionaires, but after
you're right, Lum. I agree. We ain't even hundredaires. Facts is, we're down there with the penny-ears, I do believe. Ain't got a nickel to our name. Ragged shoes, patch clothes. Just look here at this patch on my elbow of my coat here. Look at that.
Yes, that does look bad.
And over here, look here. There's another. Nice.
Shame you got to wear a coat like that.
I agree. It's a low down to shame I know of. Oh, poor me. Poor little me.
Abner, don't take on so.
Well, I can't help it. Look at my clothes.
You're making me feel bad, though.
Poor little orphan Abner. That's what I am.
Just a minute here, fellas. Wait a minute. If that's all that's troubling you, I mean, if you're just short of a little cash, I believe I could help you out. Here. Would $50 tide you over?
Huh? $50?
That's mighty thoughty of you, Mr. Webster, but we couldn't ask.
No, not at all. Now, you go on and take it. Take it.
I
I'm glad
agree.
to do it. I'm glad to do it. Always glad
Surely
to
much
help
obliged
a man.
to you, and we'll pay this back just quick as we can.
Yes, sir, I agree. We'll pay it back just quick as we can scrimp and scratch your money together.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
sir.
quite all right, gentlemen. There's no hurry at all.
Well, we want to thank you again, Mr. Webster, and we'll see you again right soon.
It's fine. Just drop in any time.
Come on, Abner.
Yeah.
So long, Mr. Webster.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
So long, Mr. Webster.
Granny, there's a nice feller if I ever seen one.
Yeah, I agree. He sure is. He sure helped us out of a bad hole.
Wait a minute. What are we doing borrowing $50 from him?
Oh, we're so poor, Lum, don't you know?
Poor? We come over here to invest in that company.
Huh?
You know what he done? You stood right in there and let him talk us right out of it. I've got $700 in my pocket.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down at Pine Ridge. Well, Lum and Abner got less than no results from their attempt yesterday to force Mr. Webster into accepting them as investors in the proposed health resort plan. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their jot-em-down store and library, re-examining their encounter with Mr. Webster the previous day. Listen.
Yes, sir. I still can't figure out what happened to us yesterday.
Huh?
Here we went over to Mr. Webster's office, bound and determined to make him take our $700 invest. Instead of that, we come away from there with a $50 loan.
Yeah. Mr. Webster was sure nice about lending us that money, weren't he?
Yeah, but we never wanted to borrow no money.
I know it, Lum, but he was so nice about it, you'll have to admit that.
Oh, he was nice enough, but that ain't the point.
Huh?
What I can't understand is how you worked things around to where he thought we needed money instead of wanting to invest some. How can you do them things?
How can I do 'em?
Why, sure. Weren't Mr. Webster that done it. He just sat there and let you talk us into thinking we was poverty-struck.
Well, Lum, all I was doing was what you told me to do. You told me to agree with everything you said and exaggerated a little.
Yeah, but you overdone it. All I said to Mr. Webster was that we didn't have a whole lot of money to invest, and right away you had us to where we was heading for the poorhouse.
Well, I'm sorrowful if I done something wrong. Leastways, we got $50 out of it, though.
Yeah, but we never wanted that. We just have to pay it back now, is all.
Well, we can do that easy enough, Lum. We still got the $50. All we got to do is just take it over and hand it to him. We paid him back.
Yeah, but I sort of hate to do that so quick. After he was so nice to loan it to us.
You do, huh?
I wouldn't want to let him know that we never actually needed it.
Oh, well, I'll take it over. I ain't proud.
No, I ain't going to take a chance on that. You more than likely come away from there with a $100 loan this time.
I would, huh?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me none if you did.
I know. I'm getting good at that, you know what? Making money hand over fist. Maybe I ought to go into the loaning business, Lum.
No, from now on, you just leave all the finance matters up to me.
Oh?
What we're trying to do is invest in that health resort idea. We can just figure out how to do it.
Yeah. Well, why don't we get Grandpappy Spears over here and talk to him about it?
I don't think that'd do much good.
Well, Grandpap's the president of the outfit, ain't he?
Yeah, but I don't think he has much say-so about it. Just a figurehead.
He's a what?
I believe Mr. Webster does all the figuring in that company.
Oh, uses Grandpap's head for it, huh?
No, I say he's a figurehead. I mean by that he's president of it, but he ain't actually got no authorities.
Oh, is that what one of them is?
Yeah, it's a figurehead.
Yeah, well, you're more than likely right about that. I doubt if he's got much authorities. But it does seem to me that there ought to be some way, though, that... wait a minute, there comes Cedric up out there. Maybe he's got an idea, Lum.
Oh, well, I wouldn't put too much dependence on that. Not on Cedric having an idea on anything.
Well, now, Cedric's kind of smart at times, Lum. And he ought to be. He's got a set of practical new brains. Ain't used them enough to hardly scratch 'em, you might say.
Yeah, I don't believe I'd discuss it with him at all, Abner.
Well, Cedric?
Well, of course not.
Well, now, you can't tell about him, Lum. That boy's bound to be smart in some way, and I ain't found out yet what it is.
I don't much think it's on finance matters, though, Abner.
You don't, huh?
Not hardly.
Well, he's got to be smart on something, Lum. We can take a chance. It won't hurt nothing.
Look at him walking along there talking to himself. You know dead blame well he ain't had a thought in 6 months.
Yeah, he talking or singing? Yeah, I guess he is talking or arguing.
Never mind.
Look at him.
Don't be talking to him.
No.
Standing there with his nose pressed against the glass at the front door.
Yeah.
That reminds me, we got to change that, put up our screen door one of these days.
Yeah, get around to it. I've been laying off to do that for weeks now, and I just ain't got time to do it yet.
Middle of the summer and ain't put the screen door up yet.
Well, I'll get it. Before fall gets here, some way. Well, howdy, Cedric.
Extra double wonderful world.
Come on back.
Yeah, hello, Cedric.
What are you looking so happy about today, Cedric?
Yeah. What's the matter with you anyway, Cedric?
Don't just stand there. Come on back, Cedric.
Ain't nothing wrong with me.
Well, what you so happy about then?
I'm just happy because I might get to be one of the high-up officers in that company. I don't know.
The company?
Yes, Mom.
You mean Mr. Webster's health resort outfit?
No, Mom, the war plant over there where I work. Walt Bates's company.
Oh, that. Oh.
Well, what happened, Cedric? Did you get a promotion?
No, Mom, I done something better than that, I think.
Well, what'd you do, Cedric?
I made them a suggest.
Huh?
See, they got a thing over there where if you make them a good suggest, why, they give you $10 for it.
Well, that sounds like a good deal. What kind of a suggest did you want, Cedric?
Well, they got a box where you put them in.
Yeah, well, what kind did they want? That's what I want to know.
One that'll speed up efficiencies.
Speed up what?
Efficiencies.
Huh?
Wait a minute, I think you mean efficiency.
Yes, Mom, that's it. Efficiency.
And, you made them a suggest on that, huh?
Yes, Mom. Turned it in yesterday.
Well, good for you, Cedric.
Just sitting around waiting for my $10 now. That's all I'm doing.
Well, that's nice. I'm proud to hear that, Cedric. What was your suggest?
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah?
It speeds up work and cuts down things and all that stuff.
Well, I'm proud to hear it. Now, see there, Lum? What'd I tell you about Cedric being smart there?
Yeah, well, I want to hear this whole idea before I change my mind complete.
Well, it's a gooder, and I can tell you that forever I hear it. Yes, sir. Exactly what is it, Cedric?
Oh, I'm climbing up the ladder of success is what I'm doing. That's what my mama said, too.
Well, that's nice, but, tell us now exactly what was your suggest.
Well, you better sit down and concentrate, 'cause this is pretty deep stuff.
Sit down, huh?
Yeah, the thing I studied up's kind of hard to figure out.
Oh.
Take me about 4 months to figure it out.
My goodness alive, it must be deep. You hear that, Lum? It taken Cedric 4 months.
Yeah, I heard it.
Well, here, I'm sitting down right here, Cedric. Yeah.
Well,
go on, I'm ready.
To begin with, it cuts down on stuff.
Huh?
That's what it actually does.
Huh?
Do you know what a conveyor belt is, Mr. Abner?
Why, sure. I reckon it's a belt that a conveyor wears. No, wait a minute, I was thinking of a surveyor. No, I don't believe I do know, Cedric.
Yes, you do, Abner. It's one of them things that moves along on a sort of a table in front of the workers over there at the war plant.
Oh, sure, I saw that. Yeah, it carries the machines along, and then the workers hit bolts as they go by. Yeah, I know what that is. But now, what was your idea, Cedric? Was that it right there?
No, Mom.
Oh, well, I was going to say I'd have figured somebody had done suggested that already.
No, Mom, my suggestion is about lunch.
Lunch, huh?
Yes, Mom, I got to study, and I figured out that all the workers was wasting a whole hour eating lunch. So I got up a plan to cut that down to nothing.
Nothing? Well, Cedric, they gotta eat. Can't expect folks to work without eating.
Well, they're going to eat all right. But with my suggestion, they don't have to take time out to do it.
Well, how do they do it then?
Well, here's the idea. We just take everybody's lunch and slap it right on the conveyor belt. That way they can eat right whilst they're doing their work.
Oh, I see. They just sort of stand there and snap at it as it goes by, huh?
Yes, Mom, sort of.
That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of.
Why, no, it ain't, Lum. Of course, I'll admit they're going to have to eat awful fast to keep them starving to death, though. I ain't sure that'll work now, Cedric. I don't believe a feller could wolf down a whole lunch in one whack that way.
No, Mom, I know they couldn't.
They might get mixed up, too. Feller might find himself gnawing on a bolt and hammering on a sand rake.
Yeah, might be a case of a feller bolting his food, huh?
What'd you say, Lum?
Oh, nothing. Just made a little joke, so. I get off some pretty good ones. I do say so myself.
Well, what was it, Lum?
Just skip it, Abner.
Oh.
If you want my honest opinions, I think you might as well just skip Cedric's, I suggest, too.
Yeah, I'm afraid Lum's right, Cedric. They couldn't eat their lunch that fast.
Well, wait till you hear the rest of my idea, though. They don't eat their lunch all at once.
They don't.
No more. See, they just get it in little pieces. First comes a half a sandwich and then a machine. Then another half a sandwich and then a machine. Then the hard-boiled egg and then a machine. Keeps on doing that till the lunch is all in.
Well, now, there's some sense in that, Cedric. Whack a machine, grab a egg. Whack another and grab a sweet potato. Yeah, that's good, Cedric.
Well, I thought it was.
Of course, now, how does a feller get his own sandwiches out of a deal like that, though?
Well, it don't matter none particular. Because I put right in the suggest that everybody's supposed to bring the same kind of sandwiches. Peanut butter. That's my favorite.
Oh, well, that'll take care of that all right, yeah.
Exactly how much time do you figure this wonderful idea of yours is going to cut down?
Well, I've got that all worked out, too. See, in this department where I work, there's 8 of us.
8, huh?
And we all take an hour for lunch. And that makes, let's see now, 8 times 1, 8 hours. That's it, 8 hours a day.
Well, with your idea, then, that saves 8 hours a day. Is that right?
Yes, Mom, that's right, I think. And them 8 hours represents 1 man.
Is that how long one man works a day?
Yes, Mom. So you see, with this suggest of mine, they can cut 1 man out of our department.
All right, doggies, that's right. Did you hear that, Lum? This idea Cedric illuminates one whole feller.
Granny, that's right, ain't it?
Well, good for you, Cedric. I believe you're sort of a genius.
Mama thinks so.
Who's the feller that your idea illuminates out of your department, Cedric?
Oh, I got that all figured out, too.
Well, how'd you do that?
Well, that was easy. You see, it couldn't be the first feller on the assembly line because he has to slap the lunch on the conveyor belt.
Yeah, couldn't be him. He's important, yeah.
And couldn't be the number 2 man because he has to unwrap the sandwiches, and the number 3 man has to break them in half.
Yeah, you need them.
And it couldn't be the number 4 man because he has to crack the eggs, and the number 5 man has to peel them.
Yeah, he couldn't eat the eggs less than a peel, no.
And the number 6 man has to break open the sweet potatoes, and the number 7 man peels the bananas.
Well, what does the number 8 man do?
Well, nothing. He's the one. He's the one that gets illuminated. He's got to go.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, the lazy varmint. Who is that shiftless, no-count number 8 man, anyway?
Why, it's old man, see, I got a list here. Wait a minute now. I'll be doggone. Sure lucky for me they're paying $10 for these subjects. I'm gonna need that.
What do you need the money so bad for, Cedric?
Well, don't you see? I've done it now. I've done suggested myself clean out of a job. I'm the number 8 man.
Granny's, Abner, I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, Stone. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, all of Lum and Abner's efforts to get taken into Mr. Webster's health resort company as investors have failed. It is definitely beginning to look as though Mr. Webster and Grandpappy Spears intend to keep the company exclusively for themselves. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their jot-em-down store and library discussing this matter.
Doggies, Lum, I can't think of no other way to get Mr. Webster to take our money.
Well, we got to study up something, though, Abner.
I know it, I know.
Got to invest in that health resort.
Yeah, look.
It's a Pine Ridge project, and it ain't no more than right that we get in on it.
Well, I know you're right, Lum, but it just looks to me like we've done tried everything we can think of. I know I've just sat here and wrecked my brain for 2 or 3 hours hand running trying to think of something.
There must be some way to do it.
I'll tell you what, we might try going over to Mr. Webster's office and talking to him again if you want to.
No, I think we got to study up some new approach to the subject.
You know, maybe Mr. Webster just don't like us, Lum. Maybe he's got something against us.
No, I don't believe that. More likely it's just a
Well,
matter
for
of...
the land's sakes, look out there. Look at that Cedric resting over here like a horse afar.
Oh, then he oughtn't to run like that in this hot weather.
He sure turned.
Get himself sunstroke.
Why, sure. Yeah, he ought to be careful. Especially with that little short summer haircut he's got. Top of his head there looks like a hayfield after mowing time.
Wonderful world.
Yeah, what are you in such a big hurry for, Cedric?
Oh, I gotta get right home, Mama said.
Well, what are you coming in here for?
Well, I just come in here to look in your looking glass for a minute.
Well, it's right over there next to the window. But with that haircut of yours, I'd think you'd want to stay just as far away from a looking glass as you could.
Oh, I don't want to look at my haircut. I want to look at my beard.
Your beard?
Oh, you ain't old enough to raise a beard yet, Cedric.
Why, of course not.
Well, I got one, though. Right here in this little package, right there.
In a package? That's a peculiar place to grow a beard.
Oh, well, I never growed this. No, I sent for it. It just come in the mail today.
Well...
It didn't cost me nothing, either.
Well, that's good, Cedric. Well, what in the world do you want with a beard, though?
Well, it was about all I could do. It was either that or a pony.
Huh?
See, last winter I sold a whole lot of bottles of blueing for this outfit, and they give me a choice of 2 prizes. The genuine imitation Hollywood actor's beard or a Shetland pony.
And you took the beard?
Yes, Mom.
Well, me, that's pretty silly, Cedric.
Yeah, I believe you made a bad choice there.
Why, sure.
It was about all I could do, though. See, I measured myself, and I'm too tall for a pony, so I had to take the beard.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's right. You are a little big for a Shetland pony.
Besides, I'd had to pay a little extra postage on the pony.
Well, you have to pay the postage on something like that, huh?
Yes, Mom. 3 cents on the beard and $106 on the pony.
Oh, well, maybe you did make the right choice after all, Cedric. I reckon a pony would take a lot of stamps, all right.
Yes, Mom.
Well, let's see that fancy beard you got, Cedric. Let me take a look at it.
Wait till I get it unwrapped here.
Yeah, hurry up. I want to see that.
Well, where you going to wear a beard anyway, Cedric?
Oh, my chin, I reckon. Sort of hooks over my ears, I think. That's the way it looked in the picture.
Yeah, see that. My doggies, that's a nice looking one. Now, try it on, Cedric.
Yes, Mom. Sure is pretty. I bound your Mama will be glad now I made her buy all that blueing.
My doggies, look, Lum. Look at Cedric here. He looks like a fella in a moving picture. Now, look at yourself in the looking glass there, Cedric.
Yes, Mom, I'm looking. Boy, I look like a cow around, don't I?
Like a cow?
Yes, Mom.
For the
I'm
land's
eating
sake.
grass. Look at me.
Cedric, you ain't looking in the mirror. You're looking right out the window. That's Mose Mooch's cow across the street there you're looking at.
Oh, I see. Well, this is the mirror. This is over here, ain't it?
Yeah, that's you. Look right in there now, Cedric.
I'll say one thing for me. I sure need a shave.
Well, no, Cedric. You're supposed to look that way when you got a beard on.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Wish I could just stand here and look at myself all day long. But I promised Mama I'd get right on home.
Yeah, well, you better run along then, Cedric. You better take that beard off first, though. You used to going over there looking like that.
Yes, well, where's the package it come in?
Yeah, right there on the counter.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you fellas later.
Yeah, all right. So long, Cedric.
So long.
Doggies. Wonder how many bottles of that blueing you have to sell to get one of them.
I don't know, but we got bigger problems to figure out than how you can get yourself a free beard.
Yeah, but Lum, them is a genuine imitation Hollywood actor's beards.
I don't care what kind they are. We got to study up something.
For the land's sakes, looky there, Lum. Cedric forgot his beard. He picked up the package and left that beard laying right there. Hey, Cedric! Hey, Cedric!
He can't hear you, Abner. He's more than likely halfway home by now, the way you're taking it out of here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, we'll just keep it fine. Reckon how I'd look in one of them things.
Now, Abner, don't put that thing on. You done got a beard.
Well, not a nice, big, black, wavy one like this one, though. Hey, look at me here, Lum.
You do look comical.
Yeah, look at that.
Look like one of the 7 dwarfs.
Yeah, would you know me with this on, Lum?
Well, you sure look different, I'll say that for you.
Well, good for me. Yes, sir, I wouldn't hardly know myself. Doggies, wait a minute. I believe I'm getting a idea here. Yes, sir, Lum, this'll solve our problems.
Solve our problem.
Why, sure. You just give me that $700 and I'll go right over to Mr. Webster's office and invest it in the health resort right now.
Well, he done talked us out of that once, said we couldn't buy no interest in it.
Yeah, but don't you see, with this beard on, Lum, he'll think I'm somebody else.
Well, why would he take an invest from somebody else if he wouldn't take it from us?
Because, just like I said a while ago, Mr. Webster just don't like us for some reason. Don't want us in his company.
Well, I admit he acts like he don't want us in there, all right.
He's got something against us, Lum, sure as the world. Don't trust us or something. You know, it might be 'cause we went ahead and got that report on the spring water ourselves without him knowing anything about it.
Oh, he trusts us all right.
Well, I don't know. Fact is, I think maybe he's even spying on us.
Spying on us?
Yes, sir. The other day I seen that there chauffeur of his'n just sort of sauntering backwards and forwards out there in front of the store, back and forward.
Well, I don't think that means nothing.
Well, it's the same. I dog his way went. There comes Grandpap Spears. Let's try this out on him, Lum.
Try what out on him?
The beard. You introduce me as Mr. Johnson or somebody, and I'll try to get Grandpap to take our money.
No, I don't think that'll work.
Well, Grandpap's president of the company. He ought to have some say-so about who invests in you.
Yeah, but
it won't hurt to try, no. Now, go on. Introduce me to somebody else.
Well, we can try, I reckon, but I ain't got much hope.
Right, wait a minute. Here he comes. Don't let on now. Don't let on.
Well, howdy do, gentlemen. How's every little thing?
Howdy, Grandpa. Wait a minute. I don't know nobody around here. I'm a stranger.
Hey, what's that, Abner?
Go ahead, Lum. Introduce me. Hurry up.
Well, ain't no use now. Did you hear what Grandpap said?
I don't care what he said. Introduce me like I told you.
Well, I ain't gonna do it. That's
all
silly.
right. I'll do it myself then, stubborn-headed. Well, howdy do, sir. I'm Mr. Johnson, Charlie Johnson I'm from Pocatello, Ohio.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I just got in on a mail hack. You fellers have got a pretty nice little town here.
Abner, you're wasting your time.
Yes, sir, this is quite a change for me, a little town like this. I'm a big city fella myself. Well, of course, I travel around some. I'm a churn salesman, that's what I am.
Churn salesman?
Yeah.
Oh,
been an uncommon good churn season, too, this year. Only trouble is I'm just making so much money I don't hardly know what to do with it. Pockets are just bulging out with this stuff.
Listen, Abner, Grandpap
don't
done
stop me,
knows.
Mom. I'm doing good now. Say, I just happen to have $700 with me here. You don't know of a good place to invest it in, do you, mister? Like, say, health resort or something like that.
For pity's sakes, Abner, would you stop that? No, let him go on. That's pretty good. What are you doing, practicing on some play acting, Abner?
No, Abner, how did you know who I was?
Oh, I recognize that grocery apron there you're wearing.
Oh, my goodness alive. Why didn't I take that thing off?
Say, Lum, you still do notary public's works, don't you? Why, sure.
Dad, blame this apron, giving me away.
Abner, forget that. What'd you want a notary public's for, Grandpap?
Had him
Got some legal papers I wanted notarized. Oh, well, I'll be proud to handle it for you. There might be some little thing you can do for us sometime.
Yeah, like letting us invest in that company.
Well, yeah. Yeah, you'll have to see Mr. Webster about that. Here's the papers, Lum. This looks like a deed to your farm. Yeah, see, I'm signing my property over to the company so as Mr. Webster can go ahead with developing the spring and all. Well, what's he giving you for your farm, if that's a fair question?
You ought to get a right smart of money for it, Grandpap.
I'm getting a full half interest in the health resort after I deed my place over.
Oh.
Mr. Webster's got some rich friends in the East, and they're putting up all the money. And
so that's why he don't want our invest, huh?
Yeah, and all I'm putting up's just my farm. Well, Grandpap, I ain't putting my notary public seals on such a document as that, I'll tell you now. You ain't? No, sir. Now, before you go giving your property away, you better see some of that money Mr. Webster's going to put up. Now, don't tell me what to do, Lum Eddard. Just give me that deed. I'll get it notarized somewhere else. I'm over 21. I know what I'm doing.
For the sake. I wonder what in the world. Oh, my goodness. Lum, I told you we was being spied on. I just seen a stranger peeking in the window. There he is again. Look at him, Lum. There he is.
Abner, for pity's sakes, take off that beard and stop staring at yourself in the mirror.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Dog it, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, Store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Grandpappy Spears wanted Lum to notarize a paper deeding the Spears farm over to Mr. Webster to promote the development of the proposed health resort. Lum refused to put his notary public seal on the document in an effort to protect Grandpap's interests, which naturally made Grandpap furious. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner waiting in the hall just outside Grandpap's place.
Doggies, Lum, reckon how much longer we're going to have to wait to get in there to see that Grandpap?
I don't know. It oughtn't to be long now. Ulysses Quincy's been in there more than a half hour already.
Yeah, how come Ulysses got in there ahead of us? We was here way before he was.
Yeah, but Ulysses had an appointment. And we never.
Oh, prattle.
Well, Grandpap just told me to bring this deed over to him quick as I got it notarized.
Notarized? I thought you weren't going to notarize that deed for Grandpap.
Well, I weren't, but I run into him this morning on my way to the store and told him I'd changed my mind.
Oh, you changed it,
Well,
huh?
I knowed if I didn't notarize it, he'd get Squire Skimp to do it.
Yeah, I know that. But still, you said yesterday that you figured Mr. Webster was just trying to beat Grandpap out of his farm.
I know I said that.
You said that deed would give the farm over to Mr. Webster and Grandpap wouldn't actually have nothing at all to show for it.
Well, that's right.
Well, you ought not to have notarized it then.
Well, I put a clause in it unbeknownst to Grandpap.
A clause?
Yeah, that's, thing that you put in there. He'd have a conniption fit if he knowed I done that.
Well, what sort of a clause did you put in it?
Oh, one of them whereby, whereas, and whereif things.
Yeah, well,
It says if Mr. Webster don't spend $100,000 developing that spring into a health resort like he claimed he's going to, the property automatically reverts back to Grandpap.
Oh, well, now that sounds like a pretty good idea, I believe, Lum.
Yeah, but I might get myself into a batch of trouble over this.
Trouble?
Yeah, but I don't aim to stand back and see an old friend of mine cheated out of his property.
Why, Lord, me, no, that would be a shame. After all the years that Grandpap's lived there, as old as he is. Well, for the land's sake. Look who's coming in here.
Huh?
Look there, Papa.
Well, I do know. Reckon what business he's got with the health resort company.
No telling at all. No telling. Well, howdy, Papa. What in the world are you doing over here?
Oh, hello there, son. Hello, boy. Oh, howdy, Lum.
How do you do, Mr. Peabody?
You over here to see Mr. Webster, Papa?
No, I ain't here to see. I got a appointment with President Milford Spears.
Oh, well, that's what you're here for. You might as well just set yourself down and wait.
Yeah?
No telling how long it'll be before you get in there to see him.
What? Well, I'll get in there now. I got the appointment. That's what I got.
Well, I had sort of an appointment, too, but I've been sitting here for I don't know how long.
Well, I'll get him. You just watch me.
President Spears is an awful busy man, seems to be, Papa.
It's all right. I'll get in now.
What are you going in there to see him about?
Me and President Spears has got a little deal on, boys.
Deal?
Yeah, he called me up over at the place this morning and asked if I...
Having somebody come in. And it's about time I was getting
paralyzed. Yeah, what's your oblige, Ulysses, old boy. Let me know about tomorrow quick as you can.
Okay, President.
Fine, make it.
Okay, President.
Well, hello, Ulysses. How are you?
Okay, Lum. Howdy, Ulysses. Say, how'd you make out today? Oh, just okay, I guess, Mr. Peabody.
Well, I'm more than likely to see you tomorrow, Ulysses.
Okay.
So long. All right, let's see now. Who's next here?
Yeah. Come on, Lum. Let's get in there.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on now. Where do you think you're going there? Sit down there. Come on in, Finest.
Well, here, just a minute now, Grandpap. We was in here first.
Yeah, we've been here for a couple hours.
Why, of course we have. Go on in there, Lum.
No, that boy there's ahead of you fellers. Come on in, Finest.
Yeah, all right. Excuse me, love. I didn't mean to step on you.
No, that's all right.
Say, Milford, did you recollect write Ulysses down this time? You forgot it yesterday, you know.
No, that was Charlie Redfield I forgot.
Oh,
but I got that straightened out. I got all the figures wrote down there on a chart.
Well, good. Say, Otis Masters wants to get in on this, too. I told him I'd try to get my appointment with you.
That's a fine howdy-do.
Bugs are fighting. Who does Grandpap think he is, anyway, leaving me sit out here? Does
Well,
he think he's more important than I am?
I don't know.
That. Don't answer it.
He's a president of the company, I know.
I don't care who he is. He can't do this to me. I'm a busy man myself. I got my own business to look after.
Yeah, well, maybe Papa had something awfully important to take up with Grandpap too long.
Well, it wouldn't be as important as this deed, though.
Wouldn't, huh?
Here I went to all the bother to notarize it and bring it clean over here for him. Even taking on the responsibilities of trying to save Grandpap's farm for him. And what happened? Leaves me sitting out here cooling my heels.
Cooling your heels.
Yeah, Dad, blame it all.
Oh, you want me to close the window, Long?
Close the window.
Yeah, maybe that'd stop that draft on your feet.
I don't feel no draft on my feet.
You said your heels is cooling off. Maybe you ought to wear heavier socks, Long.
Oh, well, wait, I never meant my feet was actual cold. Cooling your heels is just an expression. It means having to wait around for somebody.
Oh.
And I ain't going to do it much longer, neither. Abner, go over and knock on the door and tell Grandpap he better let me in there.
Well, they're busy in there, Long.
I don't care. Nobody's going to keep L. Eddard sitting around this long. Go on, knock on the door.
All right, I just hope I don't get arrested for it, though.
Tell him I ain't going to wait much longer.
Yeah, all right, I will.
Hey, what is it, son?
Oh, say, Papa, will you tell President Spears that Lum ain't gonna wait much longer?
All right, I'll tell him. Hey, Milford, Lum says he ain't gonna wait much longer.
Tell him to come back tomorrow, then.
Tell him to come back tomorrow, Abner.
Says tell you to come back tomorrow, Lum.
I heard what they said. I ain't going to do it, neither. I'm going to sit right here and see him today if it takes all week.
Doggies, I'd just love to know what they're doing in there. Papa sure had a busy look on his face. Did you see him there? He was scowling something wonderful.
Had a busy look on his face.
Why, sure, I saw him when he's busy too many times, Lum. I know a busy look when I see it, and he had one. There's something important's going on in there.
Grannies, I'll show them varmints they can't do this to me. I don't care if he is president or how much work he's got to do. He could leastways see me for 2 minutes. Abner, what are you doing there?
Shh, be quiet, Lum. I'm peeking through the keyhole here.
Abner, get away from there. You oughtn't to eavesdrop that away. Can you see anything?
No, not hardly nothing. Wait a minute. I see there's a chart in there of some kind they're talking about.
A chart?
Yeah, it's hanging up on the wall.
What does it say?
I can't quite make it out. Got a lot of fellers' names wrote on it there, and some figures wrote after them.
What kind of figures?
Well, just common everyday figures like 7 and 3 and all them. Doggy, well, look at that.
Huh?
Papa's name is right up there amongst all the rest of them.
Is that all you can make out?
Yeah, my Papa got his name right up there on that little blackboard there.
Maybe that's a list of the folks that's investing in the health resort.
I don't know. I can't tell what it is.
And they wouldn't let us have no stock in it. Bung $700 over here, and they wouldn't even sell us none.
Well, they got a list of names there. Uh-oh, Grandpap's writing somebody else there.
Well, quit spying, Abner. That ain't right. I'm getting sick and tired of just waiting, I know that. Knock on the door there again. Tell them I'm leaving.
Well, Lum, I hate to interrupt a big business meeting.
Go on and do like I say. Knock on the door.
All right.
Tell them I'm leaving right this second.
All right. What is it this time, son?
Lum says to tell President Spears that he's leaving right this second, Papa.
All right. Lum says he's leaving, Milford.
Well, good.
Milford says good. Now don't bother us no more, son. We're busy in here. We got...
Lum, the president said that...
He said, varmint, I'll show him. I ain't going to leave, I know that.
Well, you might just as well, Lum. They're busy in there. I can see that just as plain as anything.
I don't care how busy they're. Abner, knock on the door again and tell them I'm coming in there.
All right, but you heard them. They told me not to bother them no more. They're so busy in there, Lum, I don't believe they're even going to answer the door no more. They ain't even moving.
Well, try it again.
All right.
They better find time to see me or I'm going to make trouble. I know that.
Hey, wait a minute. Somebody's coming to the door here. Yeah, there. Somebody's coming out.
Yeah, come on, Finus. Don't forget your hat there.
Well, here, wait a minute. Where are you fellers going, Grandpap? Lum's coming into your office here.
Well, let him go in. He can have the whole pigeon-toed thing if he wants to.
You mean you're resigning as president of the company?
Of course, I don't mean nothing like that.
Well, what do you mean that he can have the whole office if he wants it?
Well, I ain't going to be using it. Me and Finus are going over to my place. Hurry up, Finus.
Right with you, Milford. Right with you.
Reckon we ought to take the chart with us.
No, we can mark that up when we get back.
Let's go then.
Well, here now, wait a minute. Just a minute. Now, what are you going over to your place for this time of the day?
Going over there to finish up what we started.
What you started?
Yeah. We can't get nothing done here with all this pounding and banging and hammering on the door going on. Hurry up, Finus.
Well, wait a minute, Milford. Won't we need these?
What's that? No, I got another set of checkers over at my place we can use. Come on, let's go. Yeah, if we're going to organize that checker tournament, let's do it right. Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, dog is Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
I know. Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, yesterday Lum suspected that Mr. Webster was trying to take advantage of Grandpappy Spears and get his farm away from him. And so in the deed that Grandpap wanted notarized, Lum inserted a clause which would protect his old friend from losing his property. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner at the Jot 'em Down store and library putting up the screen door.
Abner, stop mumbling and get that screen door put up.
Well, Lum, I am. Doggies, this ain't no easy job, you know. And besides, I don't see yet what was wrong with that other door I had up.
It was the one for the back door. That was what was wrong with it. It was at least a foot too short there at the top.
I know it. I done that a purpose.
Well, a lot of good a screen door do that's too short.
Why, of course it do a lot of good. See, Lum, even if you got a screen door up, why, some flies is bound to get in. And that little opening at the top there was to let them out again. Can't you understand them things?
Yeah, but it's also a good place for them to get in. Do you ever stop to think about that?
How?
Hurry up now. Get the screen door up. You sure you got the right one this time, are you?
Well, it's the one that goes here. I still think the other would have been better, though. Say, Lum, would you pick up them bolts and slide them into the hinges here while I hold the door in place?
Yeah, just a second. I want to call up Cedric first and see if he's left home yet.
Well, wait a minute. I can't hold this door all day. I bend over to pick up the bolts while the door will fall down.
Well, I got to get Cedric over here, though. He promised to move that barber chair out of here for me.
Move the barber chair?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. I sold it to Grandpa Masters.
Well, what in the world does Grandpa Masters want with a barber chair?
Well, I don't know. He's got the insomnia pretty bad lately, and he claims that chair is the only thing he can fall asleep in.
Did he actually pay you cash money for that? Wait a minute. I believe I see Cedric's car coming there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, nothing else would make a noise like that.
Well, good. Be glad to get shut of that chair. It's awful comfort to sit in, but it never looked quite right sitting here in a grocery store.
Yeah, well, maybe you can help me with the screen door here now, Lum.
Well, Cedric can help you. I want to write up a receipt for Grandpa Masters.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Abner.
Yeah, hurry up, Cedric. Get up on the porch here and lend me a hand with this door.
What are you leaning up against the door for there, Mr. Abner? Are you tired?
No, I'm just putting the screen door up, Cedric. Reach down there and get them bolts now and put them in the hinges here for me.
Yes, boy. Well, first I got to go in and move Mr. Lum's barber chair out. See, I got to tote it over to Mr. Grandpa Masters' house.
Yeah, well, you can help me do this first, Cedric. It won't take but a second here.
Yeah, go ahead and help him, Cedric. I ain't done making out this receipt yet, no way.
Get the bolts for me now, Cedric.
Yes, boy. Whereabouts are they at now?
They're right down there. Let's see now. Whereabouts are them things? I recollect laying them down. Now, I had them just a minute ago.
Well, wait a minute. I see them. They're on the floor inside the screen door there.
Oh, yeah, that's them. I'll get them, Cedric. Get them.
Look up, Mr. Evans.
Yeah, look, Cedric, watch out. Now, look what you did.
Mom.
You pulled the door out of the hinges just when I had them right there.
Oh, excuse me. Well, I had to get inside to get the bolts, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right, ain't it? Yeah. Well, all right, get the bolts in, Cedric, and we'll just have to put the hinges back together again here.
Yes, Mom. These 2 bolts here is all he is, ain't they?
Yeah, that's all. Now, come on now, Cedric. Here now. Grab a hold here. Lift up on the door just a little bit there while I shove these hinges in there together now.
Yes, Mom.
Things is kind of tricky. Quick as you get one hinge in, that other one comes right out again.
You got them both in now, Mr. Abner.
Yeah, I believe that's it. Now, hurry up now, Cedric. Slip up on there right now.
Oh, this kind of rusty, Mr. Abner.
Rusty?
Yeah. Can't see very good. I'm standing on my tiptoes.
Yeah, well, hurry up, Cedric. I can't hold the door here all day.
I believe you'll have to use a hammer and pound it in.
Well, I got a hammer right here. It's laying right inside there. Can you see it?
Oh, yes, Mom, I see it. I'll get it.
Cedric, don't do that. Look there now. You pull that door off again.
Doggone me anyway. Clumsy, ain't it?
You sure are. Well, it's off now. You may as well get the hammer as long as it's off.
Yes, Mom.
Wouldn't have had to go to all this trouble if that Lum would have let me keep that other door up.
Here, I can pound them in now.
Yeah, well, wait a minute now. Let me get the door in place here before you go to pounding. Grab hold. Help me lift it here, Cedric.
Oh, yeah.
Easy now. Don't hold it up quite so high now, Cedric. A little lower. Yeah, that's it. There they go. Now, get the bolts in, Cedric.
Oh, get them in good now.
Yeah, hurry up.
Can't see those standing on my tippy toes this way.
I wish nobody'd never invented flies. Then I wouldn't have had to go to all this trouble.
Did they invent them?
I reckon so. We got them.
Who done it?
I don't know, Cedric. Hurry up. Get that bolt in there.
Yeah, I got that in good now.
Yeah, that's all right. That's good, Cedric. That's down. Now, get the other now.
Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Mr. Grandpap Spears.
Oh, my goodness alive. I reckon what he wants.
I know. Looks like he's mad about something.
Yeah, he's in a rush. You can tell
Hey, Abner, where's that pigeon-toed partner of yours?
How's that, Grandpap?
Where's that varmint Lum at?
Oh, he's inside the store, but you can't go in there.
Who says I can't go in?
Oh, I do.
Ain't nobody gonna keep me out of no place.
Well, Grandpap, just wait till we get this screen door fixed here.
I ain't waiting for nothing. I'm going in there and beat the knock-kneed daylights out of it.
Well, just wait a half a second, then you can go in there and beat the daylights out of it.
What in the world's all this fussing going on out there?
Grandpap said he's going to come in.
Never mind, Abner. I'll tell him.
Oh, go ahead.
Mom Edwards, I brung you the last legal business I'll ever give you. What's the matter, Grandpap? You know what's the matter. That clause you wrote in that deed. I never told you to write no such clause as that. Well, now, wait a minute, Grandpap. I admit you never told me to, but I was just doing it for your own protection.
Why, sure he was, Grandpap. That clause just says that if Mr. Webster don't put up that $100,000 to develop your spring into a health resort, why, then you get your farm back again.
Why, sure. Without that in there, you're liable to lose everything you got.
Yeah, Lum was just trying
When I need any help, I'll ask for it. That clause come might nigh beating me out of the biggest deal I ever made in my life.
Oh, you mean Mr. Webster backed out of the deal?
Well, he was going to. I had to go and get Squire Skimp to make me out another deed before Mr. Webster would take it.
Well.
There's the one you wrote. You can just keep it to remind yourself not to meddle into other folks' business.
Well, here, don't give it to me. I weren't the one that made this thing out.
And another thing, I've come in this store for my last term.
You ain't in the store.
Well, if I was in, I'd walk right out and never come back.
Oh.
And I don't want near one of you bow-legged varmints coming on my place, neither. I'll take the first spabbing-leg critter that comes in there and get the daylight out of it.
Doggy, look at him go. Oh, Grandpap's sort of mad, ain't he?
Yes, Mom, he sure is.
Mad enough to fist fight a wild kangaroo.
Yeah, now that's gratitude for you. Try to help a feller to keep from losing everything he's got in the world, and what does he do? Turns around and accuses you of meddling in his business. Wants to fight you even.
Yeah, well, that's Grandpap for you. With them tempers of his and why, no telling what he's liable to do, you know that.
Yeah, it's just human nature, I reckon. I don't know. Supposing I oughtn't to did it, but, well, come on inside, Cedric, and get this barber chair out of here.
Well, wait a minute, Lum. We ain't done with the door here yet.
For goodness sakes, ain't you got that done yet?
Just about.
Well, hurry it up then.
All right. Cedric, get the other boat now. Come on, let's get busy here.
See, where did I put that thing?
Why, well, maybe you put it in your pocket, Cedric. You had it there.
No, I don't believe I did. I don't feel it nowhere. That's my pocket knife there. Near as I can reach. Oh, doggone it.
What's the matter?
When I went in to get the hammer, I laid the other bolt down and left it in there.
Oh,
Silly.
my goodness alive, Cedric. Well, just one thing to do. Take your hammer, Cedric. Pound that first bolt out of there again.
Yes, Mom.
Doggies. Never had so much trouble in my whole life. Got a good mind to just nail this dad-blame door up and let the flies go around to the back door.
There it is. There, now.
Yeah, that's all right. That's fine now, Cedric. Yeah.
Wait a minute, what are you doing there?
Huh?
What are you taking that bolt out for?
Well, Cedric left the other bolt inside. Natural, we had to take this one out. Wait a minute. What's the matter with us, Cedric?
Well,
We never had to do that. We could open the door with one bolt in.
Why, of course you could, silly.
Dog is such ignorance.
Is this the bolt you want here?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
wait, I'll hand it to you.
Yeah, all right. Oh, watch out, Lum. Yeah, now you did it. Pushed the door clean off my hinges again.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Well, anyway, here's the bolt.
Yeah, all right, much obliged. Well, come on, Cedric. Gotta get it back on there again.
yes, Mom. This gets monotony, don't it?
It sure does.
You know, I was
Easy now.
just thinking, Mr. Abner, it'd be nice to have two screen doors on the door here.
Huh?
The flies come to the first door, and then when you open the door, they couldn't get inside the store because they'd run again that other one.
Doggy, that's a pretty good idea. Well, we get this one up, Cedric, and then I'll talk to you about that. Come on now, grab a hold here. Easy. Little higher. That's it, right there. Now, get them dadgum bolts in there quick, Cedric.
Yes, Mom. That one went in easy. I reckon because I put it in there and taken it out so much. Now, there's the other one.
Well, thank goodness that's dead. Doggies, I never had such a time getting the door up in my life. But it looks all right now, don't it? Hey, come on, let's go inside, Cedric. Let me sit down. I'm tired.
Yes, Mom, me too.
Yeah, that works all right.
All right, come on now, Cedric. Let's get this barber chair out of here.
Oh, yeah, like that. Yes, Mom, well, wait till I lay the hammer down somewhere.
No, Doggies, I'm tired.
Now, I figure if we both get hold of it... Uh-oh. Abner, do you recollect when we brung this chair in here?
I don't recollect nothing, Lum. I'm too tired. All I know is I'm glad I don't have to put screen doors up for a living. Doggies.
Well, I sort of hate to tell you this, Abner, but that barber chair is so wide, there's just one way we can get it out of here.
If I... You mean...
Yeah.
Oh... Cedric,
Yes, Mom.
get the hammer and knock them bolts out. Right, Doggies, here we go again.
Now, Granny's, Abner, I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Grandpap Spears angrily returned the deed which Lum had fixed up for him, stipulating that if Mr. Webster fails to spend $100,000 developing the Spears Spring into a health resort, the farm reverts back to Grandpap. He then got Squire Skimp to notarize the deed without that clause, and so Lum's work was all in vain. However, as we look in on the little community today, find Abner just entering the Jot 'em Down store, we discover some indications that Lum may have misjudged Mr. Webster. Listen.
Well, where in the world have you been, Abner? Taking you might not 2 hours to make a couple of little delivers.
Oh, well, I stopped off over to look at all them machineries, Lum.
Machinery.
Yeah, over there by the liver stable. You ought to seen them. There's a couple of steam shovels. I don't know what all.
Well, I've saw 'em myself, but it never take me 2 hours to look at 'em.
Well, it did me. I had to look 'em over. Doggies, it oughtn't to take Mr. Webster no time at all to build a health resort with all them contraptions. Looks like he sure does mean business, you know.
Yeah, it does, all right. I'll have to admit it.
Yeah, you sure was wrong about Mr. Webster, Lum. You thought he wasn't actually going to build nothing. Just thought he was trying to get Grandpappy Spears' farm away from him.
Well, you don't have to tell me that. I know what I thought.
If Grandpap would have listened to you, why, he would have lost out on this whole deal. That clause you tried to sneak into that deed would have ruined everything for him.
Well, I just thought I was protecting Grandpap from a flying-by-night scheme, but I was wrong, and I admit it, so let's just forget it now.
Yeah, maybe now you won't go poking your nose into other folks' business. After this, when somebody brings legal papers over here for you to sign, why, you'll sign them instead of trying to change them for them.
Abner, will you stop harping on that?
I ain't harping.
Sick and tired of hearing it.
I'm
Don't you
just
think
telling
I feel bad enough as it is? Here I've lost Grandpap for a friend. Mr. Webster more than likely thinks I'm just a suspicious old busybody, and if this gets around town, I'll be the laughingstock.
It's done got around town. Grandpappy Spears told everybody how you tried to meddle into his affairs and all that.
I was feared of that. I thought folks was looking sort of cuter at me when I was coming to work this morning.
Oh, yeah, he's told it.
Wished I could just pick up and leave town.
Well, you ought to wait till after they start digging with them steam shovels on. There's something I wouldn't miss for nothing.
I might could go to Yukon, Alaska. Maybe go to Mexico and start up a sombrero farm.
Sombreros? You don't know how to raise them things, Long.
Well, I could learn. Maybe to raise enchiladas.
Huh?
I pick up stuff pretty fast.
Well, you ain't actually going to leave, are you, Long?
Well, I don't know. The way traveling conditions are right now, I reckon I oughtn't to try.
No, you oughtn't to unless it's necessary.
I'd surely love to go from here and go summers where folks shows a little gratitude when you try to help them, instead of making a laughingstocks out of you.
Well, Lum, in the first place, you'd have an awful hard time getting a train ticket nowadays. You couldn't get no gas and... Well, wait a minute. Doggies, just a minute. I believe I got an ID for you, Lum. Where's that paper I was reading this morning?
Which paper?
The one I was looking at just before I left.
I never paid no attention to which one you... is that it right there on the counter?
Yeah, this is today. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for. Tells all about a job you can get in here. Wait a minute, I'll find it for you. It's right in here someplace.
What kind of a job?
Well, it's one where you travel all over the world. You'd be some kind of a merchant on a boat.
Merchant on a boat? Here. You mean a boat news butch? Well,
I don't know. Here it is right here. It says... Merchant Marine must recruit 5,000 men a month.
Oh, the Merchant Marines, huh? Well, I'm feared I wouldn't fit in there. I think they want experienced men.
Well, you're a merchant. You're experienced at it long. You've been merchanting here at the store for about 30 years.
Well, it don't mean that kind of merchant.
Whatever kind they mean, you ought to be able to slip in there if they need that many men. Says right here that they got a pretty big job keeping our army supplied and all that.
Well, I know they have, but I still say I ain't the kind of fellows they're looking for.
Oh, Lum, you look all right. You're a nice sort of a feller. I sort of like you after you get to know you, Lum. The folks like you.
Glad somebody does.
Yeah, there's a few little chores that you can do pretty good. Fact is, now, I'll tell you, they got some jobs listed here that a feller can get. Now, listen to this right here.
You're just wasting your time reading them to me.
The following men are needed immediately. Experienced seamen, mates, engineers. Now, you could tell them, Lum, while you ain't actually drove a train, you rode on them. Of course, I don't see what they want to engineer on a boat for, no way, though.
Well, there's different kinds of engineers. Just because I rode on a train doesn't necessarily mean I could run one.
Yeah,
I wore shoes, but I can't make them.
Well, they don't need to engineer on a boat, Lum. They can't blow no whistle at cows crossing the ocean. They don't swim across the ocean out there. See what else they got here. Radio, telegraphers, able-bodied seamen. Now, I believe you could fool them on that, Lum, sort of pad your coat up a little.
Able-bodied enough.
Firemen, oilers.
5F, ought to be.
Water tenders. Now, there's something you could do, Lum. Water tender. Now, that wouldn't be hard. Just sitting there tending to the water bucket all day. When one of the rowers on the boat gets thirsty, well, all you have to do is just dip him out a dipper full. You could do that, Lum.
Well, I know I could, but I ain't qualified for the Merchant Marines, I tell you.
Says here that pay is good and says there's a lot of chances for advancement.
I know there is.
All you have to do is just wire collect wait a minute, let's see, where was it? I seen it. Yeah, wire collect U.S. Merchant Marines, Washington, D.C. and they'll take care of you from there on.
Abner, I know they'll do all that, but I still say I ain't the kind of man... Uh-oh. Look who's coming up out there.
Huh? What? Oh, Mr. Webster. Reckon what he wants now.
No, but whatever it is, I wished I wasn't here. More than likely, he studied up some way to get me arrested for meddling with that deed of Grandpap's.
Well, you're the justice of the peace, Lum. You'll have to do the arresting yourself, so you could just let yourself escape when you ain't looking or something like that. Well, howdy, Mr. Webster. Come on in.
Thank you very much. How are you today, Mr. Peabody?
Oh, pretty good, I reckon.
Well, that's fine. And you, Mr. Edwards?
Huh? Oh, I'm fine, I think. Sorry, I'm just leaving. I have to go, make some delivers.
I done made the delivers, Lum.
Oh, well, I have to go somewhere.
Yes, well, before you go, Mr. Edwards, there's a little matter I want to take up with you.
I'm late now. I'll see you later.
Yes, well, this will only take a second. All I want you to do is sign some legal papers here.
Sign some papers.
Yes. You're the justice of the peace, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I am.
Yeah, he's in.
But about that deed, Mr. Webster, I can explain why I put that clause in there. You see, I
well,
feared
never mind about that. You see, that's all straightened out. I fully understand that you were merely trying to protect your friend, Mr. Spears. And loyalty like that's a rare thing nowadays,
Well, I'm glad you feel that way about it.
Yes. You see, the reason I couldn't accept the deed with your clause, committing me to spend $100,000 on the health resort, was that I think I can see my way clear to do the job for less.
Oh, that's right.
And a businessman of your obvious intelligence would be the first to agree that it would be foolish to spend more than's actually necessary, just simply because of documentary obligation.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. That military obligations is bad stuff to get mixed up with.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff is that, Lum?
I'll explain it to you later.
Don't believe I've had that. I've had the measles.
Just see that you don't get mixed up in it.
Oh.
I believe you said you had some kind of a paper here you wanted to sign, Mr. Webster.
Yes, indeed. Certain routine legal matters come up from time to time in an undertaking of this type, and naturally we'll need a good man to handle them.
Natural.
Now, what I have here is just a routine form. It's all made out. All you have to do is sign it. You'll know what to do from there on. I'll just turn that part over to you, Mr.
Well, good. I'm just the man that can handle it, too. Is this the paper here?
Yes. Your signature goes right there. Right? There, where I've indicated with a little X.
You signed it yourself, Mr. Webster?
Abner, keep out of this. I see.
Oh.
I better read this over
Yeah,
first.
but it's only a routine form, Mr. Edwards. Gives us the right to go ahead and start building on the property. See? It's really unimportant in itself, just some legal red tape we always have to go through, you know.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just make it a habit of checking over everything before I sign it. Just a routine form with me, you might say.
That's a very good policy.
Would you mind moving your hand there a little, Mr. Webster, so I can read it?
I might as well
Yes.
go with the horseshoe game.
Here, now I'll just point out the salient facts here for you.
Ain't gonna
See,
talk
that's
all
the
day.
date there that this becomes effective. Yeah, and then it says, whereas, so-and-so, routine stuff, court order and so forth and so forth and so forth. Hereby ordered, so-and-so.
That's
That's
interesting.
the usual thing. You
First I've
understand.
heard the details
It probably
of it.
bores you to death to read this sort of thing over so many times.
Oh, yeah, bores me something wonderful. I sign right here, then, huh?
Yes, that's right. And sign the duplicate right here, too. Yeah, that's fine. Now, I'll take one of these. You'll want the other one, of course. Say, I'm sorry I have to rush, but you know how it is.
Oh, sure.
Hey, let me know when them steam shovel starts digging, Mr. Webster. I want to see that.
Certainly I will. Goodbye, Mr. Edwards.
Good day. Granny's, I'll say one thing for Mr. Webster. He sure knows where to go get his legal work did.
Yeah, Lum, what was that paper you signed there?
Oh, just some legal form. Just some red tape we always have to go through. I get bored with it.
Well, exactly what did it say, though? I couldn't read all that reading that was on there.
Well, I don't know exactly.
Well, you sat there and read it.
I know, but, well, he kept moving his finger backwards and forwards across the paper there so fast I couldn't keep up with it. But all it is just some routine.
Yeah, well, here, let me read it then. I want to know what's on there.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care. Stuff bores me.
Yeah, I want to see this thing here. Well, court order.
You notice he said he might have quite a few legal matters he'd want me to handle.
Lum, what's this word here? This, evixation? Says this will serve as notice of eviction.
Eviction?
Huh?
Why, wait a minute. You know what this thing is? It's a eviction notice.
Huh?
Abner, when I signed this, I've just the same as throwed poor old Grandpap and his woman clean off of his farm.
Throwed them off their farm.
Grandpap signed his property over to Mr. Webster for the health resort. Now he's being evicted.